tried to open already, and you've seen those images out of that high school in Georgia, students in the hallways, many not wearing masks, little social distancing, it went all over social media. And now we've learned that 9 students and staff have already tested positive in that school alone. Do those images concern you? And should all students in this country be wearing masks?
You know, I'm one, and I've said it for so long, David, that I really do believe and it's part of what I call a comprehensive way to really avoid the things that you were just referring to. There should be universal wearing of masks. There should be, the extent possible, social distancing, avoiding crowds. Outdoors always better than indoors, and be in a situation where you continually have the capability of washing your hands and cleaning up with sanitizers. When I see sites like that, it is disturbing to me.
So when you hear this local guidance coming from some schools that mask wearing will be voluntary for students in those schools, you disagree with that. You say universal mask wearing.
You see, the issue is that, it's going to be decided at the local level. I could give you my opinion.
Right. You just said universal wearing of masks.
I feel that universal wearing of masks is one of 5 or 6 things that are very important in preventing the upsurge of infection and in turning around the infections that we are seeing surging.
Dr. Fauci, I know for a long time there's been real concern about the fall and the potential second wave of all this when we have COVID combined with flu season. You've sounded optimistic in recent days, saying Americans in some way might be able to blunt the flu season with social distancing and masks. But we also heard what the head of the CDC, Robert Redfield, said not so long ago. He said, I do think that the fall and winter of 2020 and 2021 are going to be probably the most difficult times that we see in American public health. That sounds a lot different from the optimism from you in recent days. So give us a bit of a reality check here. What should we expect?
Sure. Well, David, thank you for putting it into that context, because those two things are not incompatible. If we do not do the things in a uniform way that I'm talking about, I totally agree with Dr. Redfield that as we get into the winter and fall, with the likelihood that we'd have a convergence of 2 respiratory diseases, we can have a very difficult time. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask, and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill.
Almost half of people have skipped medical care because of coronavirus, or say someone in their home has. The Kaiser Family Foundation just published the results of a new poll. It found most people expect to get the delayed care in the next few months. It also found the delays have made conditions worse for 11% of people or their family members. Kaiser says some people had to delay care because of temporary policy changes at clinics and hospitals, and that others made a personal decision to avoid those facilities. Dr. Anthony Fauci says Americans should be wearing masks when they're in public.
I do it when I'm in the public for the reasons that, A, I want to protect myself and protect others, and also because I want to make it be a symbol for people to see that that's the kind of thing you should be doing.
Dr. Fauci says while face masks aren't 100% effective, they're a valuable safeguard that also show respect for others. Thieves are using stolen credit card information more these days, but people are catching those buys earlier. New numbers from a fraud monitoring company show bogus charges were up 35% in April compared to last year. The trend is expected to continue for May. Some good news, data shows people are catching most transactions before they hit accounts.